Cumberworth with Acting Executives, and I've had quite a few people ask me recently about how to hire somebody on Upwork. I've got extensive experience working with Upwork and freelancers. I've used it even before it was Upwork. I think it was called Odesk, and Upwork bought Odesk. So quite a few years of working with freelancers, overseas people, Philippines, Central America, even in the US as well. So it's a great place to find short-term freelancers, people that can do some part-time projects for you and have expertise in some certain things like Facebook ads or SEO or digital marketing specific web development. So a lot of different options. I'm going to go through today and just talk about how to post a job and how to get started. And so this job I'm looking for is going to be an executive assistant for me. I already have one, but I've already gone through this process. So would love to share this with you and talk to you a little bit about how I do it. So first off, you need an account. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. You have to sign up for the account as an employer, not as a freelancer. So get that started. And it should probably walk you through it, but click on that post a job. I'm going to do a short-term or part-time work. I think longer-term work is somebody that you might want to have more as like a part of your team, and 6-12 months plus. But short-term or part-time, I'm just looking for about less than 10 hours a week, more than likely. So short-term, if you already have a post, you can use that. If you have different teams, that works too. But I'm going to go ahead and set this up as administrative. So let's start with a strong title. I'm going to go ahead and put virtual assistant for startup founder. And it kind of gives you, it matches it, it does it automatically with what you're looking for category wise. So it is pretty much general virtual assistants, but let's go ahead with executive virtual assistants. That's what I'm looking for. So make sure you do check that, look that up. Next, we're going to look at skills. And it probably it populates based on what it thinks. It's not going to put up SEO or DevOps here. It's going to give me what probably other executive virtual assistants have, right? So I definitely want email communication, virtual assistants, executive support, data entry, scheduling. Let's see what else here. It's going to give me some other things. I don't really need bookkeeping, business reporting, not necessary. File management, yes. So this should give me a pretty good start if you want to search for skills. I mean, if you want them to be a coder, a developer, or something like that, front-end developer, they've got all kinds of skills. So be specific on what skills you want. Next is the scope. And this is really, it kind of walks you through it and helps you. And longer term or complex, not really. It's pretty well defined. My tasks are pretty straightforward. It's not going to be complex. I'm not looking for them to make decisions. The only thing that, I might want to choose medium here is because it's a startup. It's kind of changing all the time. So I don't want to hire somebody and say, this is what you're going to do. And then 2 months later say, oh, well, I need to change that. It's not going to reflect really well on you as an employer. So I'm going to go ahead and choose medium. I'd say 3 to 6 months. I'm looking for someone longer term, and I don't need an expert, right? I don't want someone entry level handling my email and file management and things like that. I don't want to have to teach them how to do things. I want them to know how to do that. But I don't necessarily need an expert, somebody that's going to, plan for me to be on CNBC and do all that stuff and have all that going on. So not quite to that level. If you're looking for someone like a paralegal or somebody to help you with that type of thing, you probably want to choose expert. Expert doesn't mean they have a PhD or anything like that. It just means they're very, very good and well-rounded in that field specifically. So I'm not looking to bring this person on full time. So next, we're going to define the location. Super important. If you only want US, obviously select US. I would say for what I'm doing here, I like to be on the same time zone, but I'm open to, say, Philippines or that part of the world, Asia. But I will tell you that it's really nice to be on the same time zone. So a lot of, Mexico, Central America, there's a lot of great freelancers on this side, on this Western hemisphere. But I'm going to choose worldwide. You can get real specific. I want the Americas. Let's see, no Latin America. I can do South America, maybe. Interesting. No regions for South America. I guess the Americas covers South America and North America. Well done, John. Let's just keep it to the Americas, all right? But you can see you can go country by country. You know what? If we don't want to hire someone in Venezuela because of the political unrest potentially, or just the ability to get consistent Wi-Fi, you don't have to select that. You can select specific countries, Mexico, Ecuador, something along those lines. So I'm just going to do the Americas, keep that going. Next is your budget. I've done things on here that are like create a contract, and I've found lawyers on here, and I do a fixed price. I don't want to do an hourly, and you can put it out there and say, hey, I'll pay X dollars for someone to get me a privacy policy for a company based in Texas that works legally for what I need. And I just do a fixed price, and it's based on, it's okay with them, it's okay with me. The way the fixed price works is it'll basically put it in escrow. It's pretty amazing. You can do milestones as well. So if you have a project you need to get done, you say, I want to do $500 for this, but I don't want to pay them all up front. You can do milestones based on the project completion. So if they have to get the outline done, boom, $50, release that. You want to get the next step done, boom, $100, release that. So they keep it in escrow, so you're going to pay it. They keep it in escrow, they meaning Upwork, and then you release the funds based on the completion of each milestone. So it's not just like the freelancer says, hey, I did this, let me have my money. It's the employer releases that based on the completion. So for hourly rate, if I'm not going to be looking at somebody based in the US. So US 15 an hour might be too low. I don't need somebody in the US. 6 might be a little bit low, but I'm going to look at 8 to 12, maybe not 15, 12. Let's just keep it at 8 to 15. How about that? 15. So, and it does give you an idea of, there's a lot of people 5 to 10 for a similar job. I can tell you somebody in the Philippines making $5 to $10 an hour might sound insane, but it's a pretty good wage for the most part, especially in Manila, in those areas. So don't try to put your own spin on it in terms of, $8 is just not enough. Being in the US, of course, it's not enough for somebody in the US, but this is the benefit of utilizing Upwork, being able to access people in different parts of the world where the amount of money they make is very different, how far it can go. So use this to give you kind of a gauge as well if you're way off. But seems 5 to 10 is a pretty good solid area. Okay, the description, and I probably could have started with this, but before you even look to post a job, have a very detailed, or at least somewhat detailed, job description created. Okay, I'm going to make sure I've got mine here. I'm going to post it in a second, and I'll go through what I'm looking at. So I thought I put a decent amount of work into it. It's not rocket surgery here for what I need. So 2000, I could continue on and have a real long job post, but they do give you some good insight here, right? Clear expectations about what your task or deliverables are. what exactly are they going to do each day or each time? What are you expecting? Are you expecting them to be in a meeting every single morning? Are you expecting them to be able to log on and knock out projects whenever they can, meet deadlines, but it's not like they have to be more available? Um, the skills required for work, the communication, obviously good communication, that's pretty broad, but it's basically, do they need to speak English very, very well? Are they going to be communicating with clients? Are they going to be communicating with customers, or is it just an internal behind the scenes role? So all those things, I haven't done the examples of effective descriptions, but this looks just like a job post that I would put together for a regular hire, right? I'm telling them about the business. I'm not just jumping right in and saying, hey, this is what I need you to do. I like to have a culture fit as much as possible, even though they're a part-time freelancer. If I'm working with them, I want to know that we have some, maybe not some things in common, but I want them to be interested in the job and not just say, oh, I can look at email and file, files and do some web research. They're not going to be super passionate about it, and I'm okay with that. I'm aware of that. But when we're looking at doing a job posting, you want to kind of tell them not only about the role, but the business. And I talked a little bit about myself here as well. It's my second business. So they know this isn't like a brand new founder, that I have worked with Upwork quite a bit in the past, so I'm aware of how it works. And I also want to be truthful as well here, but as we grow, I'm going to hope that this creates more opportunity for more tasks or more opportunity for them to add more hours. So when you've got freelancers looking at this posting, it's not just, oh, 5 hours a week, cool. It's 5 hours with, hopefully, if I do well and the company does well, I can get that to 8 to 10 and make more money for myself and my family, right? So you want to do a little bit of selling in this job description. Key responsibilities, you don't want to overload this, but you want to be pretty descriptive. You want to be as clear as possible. These are the things that I need you to do. These are the things that I want you to do or expect you to do. There might be roles that you're hiring for and you don't know specifically what to do. Say an SEO specialist, maybe you don't know exactly what to tell them to do. That's why you want to do the expert and expert level. You don't have to give them the very, very specific details in that type of a role. So for this role, it's administrative. It's pretty straightforward. I said what I want them to do here, but then also the qualifications. I do want somebody that has experience, and I kind of filter that out with the medium, not the expert, but also not entry level. I use Microsoft, SharePoint, Teams reluctantly, but I do. We do use Slack, but for the most part, I'm trying to get everything into Microsoft suite of products. I need them to know how to use SharePoint, so they're not like, oh, never used it before. Great. If you've never used it, I don't know how to tell you how to use it myself. That's why I'm looking for your expertise. So putting that in there. So really, it's just tell about your business, about the overall opportunity and potential, a little bit about yourself maybe. What are the qualifications? What is the task, the projects, the day-to-day activities? Okay, and review job post. And so this will basically sum it up. I don't want to use any screening questions necessarily for this role, but this is a pretty helpful tool if you can utilize some screening questions. And this isn't just an interview. This is for somebody who wants to apply to your role, and I'll show you in a second. They have to answer these questions. And you can do it to where it's basically, are you fluent in English? Yes or no? And if they answer no, it should screen them or filter them. I believe it just gives you the answer. So it just shows you the response, but it doesn't actually like screen them out, but it just gives you that response. So yeah, like if you're looking for someone that's certified or something along those lines, you can put that in. This is one of my favorite filters though, or a set of filters. And probably one of the most important things with selecting somebody within Upwork. People that are brand new to Upwork, sorry, but I personally struggle with, if you haven't done this and been a freelancer on this platform, there's a potential that you're not going to know how to be a great freelancer. That's very generalized, a generalization from my part, but I would prefer somebody that has job success, good reviews, and has earned money. So you can basically set it out any level of English. I want fluent or better. You can add other languages. It's going to be less than 30. This is important as well, especially with marketing positions, things like that. You'll get agencies that contact you. If you don't want an agency and you want to work directly with the person, select the independent. I don't want an agency. I don't want to have to hear pitches from 58 different virtual assistant agencies. Agencies are super helpful if you don't know what to hire or what to do. Maybe that digital marketing SEO specialist, something like that, where the agency can help you find that person within their business. But I want independent. I'm looking to hire, I don't want to put a date on it because I'm not looking to hire anybody right now, but if you want to hire someone quickly, this can help you filter that. I only need one person, and then I only want 90% or better. The rising talent, it's interesting. It says they're a rising talent. Sometimes I've seen that where they don't even have a single job on Upwork. So I'm not sure how they're rising as talent, but I'm going to go ahead and include it on this one just to see what we have. And I want at least 10K or more earned on the platform. And that's just overall, they've been paid at least 10,000 overall. And that could be over whatever years, but I think this is important. And then you've got your job post preferences. I say anybody with search engines. You can boost your post, which is basically marketing it and paying for it to be on the top. I don't want that. And if you have somebody already in mind, you can invite them to this role, but I'm going to show you how to invite them here in a second after you post the job. Okay, so let's get this posted. Awesome. Feeling good. And what I love about this here is after you post it, it goes and finds people that theoretically fit the filters you're looking for, fit the role that you're trying to hire for. So you can start inviting people. You do get a certain number of invites with your account. So I did put Americas, but it just went ahead and gave me everybody in the world, it looks like. So you can put the filters back on. Locations, Americas. Now the people in the Philippines won't see this role because I posted it only for the Americas. So this is just an overall for me to search for people. Any hourly rate, let's go with 10 and below. Again, hours billed, I want 100 plus, and then 10K earned. So it didn't do the filters for me here. I'm going to filter it. So Venezuela here. I've got somebody in Canada. Okay, if I want to look at their profile, you can click on that. Some of the things I look at again are the total earnings, how many jobs they've had, how many hours. So it looks like Ma or Criselda has a lot of experience on Upwork. She has available less than 30 hours per week. Let's see, it does some education, things like that. But these are where, you look at the completed jobs. For her to have 23 jobs in progress, sometimes they don't close out the contracts. Sometimes the employers don't close them out and they're not really working on them. But to have 23 active jobs right now, to me, means they're very busy. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. And we've got somebody in the US looking for $10 an hour. Sometimes that's a red flag to me as well. If they're only looking for 10 an hour in the US, again, this is a generalization, but I'm not sure how proficient they are, but they've made over 30,000. Again, they have good responses, good reviews. I see sometimes people say, oh, they were the best virtual assistant. They were so great, but they worked for 3 hours total. And so it's kind of like, was this a one-off project, something along those lines, to where it didn't work out. So let's take a look. Gloria in Nicaragua, over 100K, 100% job success, top rated. Sometimes I'll see people get 4 stars and it says they have 100% job success. So again, not exactly sure on the algo with that, but you can see the in progress virtual sales coordinator. They've been working since September, 191 hours, customer service agent, customer service rep. So it looks like they've been employed for quite a while with these 2 companies, and they're probably looking for some additional work. You can also see what they paid or were paid. So if she's asking for $8 an hour, booking appointments for less than 6, virtual assistant, $7 an hour. Okay. Let's click there to see what their reviews were, and client feedback. So there's a lot of information in these profiles. There's a lot to look at and go through. I would think if for 100% job success, she's been working for somebody for years, and has shown that consistency. There's 5 stars here for 129 hours, 5 stars for 68 hours. That could have been a one-off. So if I like Gloria, I'm gonna shortlist her. Oh, I've got to create a list. Admin assistant 2023. Create that list. So she's on my short list. If I want to invite her, I'm going to click that. It already gives you this little, I don't know why it says Thomas. Maybe that's where I sent that last time. But it pre-fills in, revert to the default message. There you go. So you can invite her. I'm going to go ahead and invite Gloria. And now as I'm going through, I can look at my short list. I've already got 2 people that have responded. Now, I don't have Gloria on my short list for this role because she hasn't applied for it. She hasn't provided a proposal. But you can see, again, some of the limitations. I put this in Americas only, and I've got Ireland and Nigeria. This guy's a software developer, so not sure why they're looking for an executive assistant. So you've got to filter through some of this stuff. Once you get somebody that you do want to hire, let's say Gloria does really well, I want to hire her. It goes through all this stuff, stuff meaning terms and conditions, but you'll confirm the payment, the frequency, for a rate increase if you want. You can limit their hours because they will work and they will work on the platform and it will track their time. But if you don't limit their hours, they can run it, and it will charge your credit card or your bank. So just heads up on that. Um, I like to, if I'm only going to ask them to work 10 hours a week, I'll maybe put 10 or 12, something along those lines, so where there's an option. And if you allow them to log time manually, I don't like doing that. I usually take that off until I've worked with them for long enough to where I can trust them. So you've got everything here. It basically creates the contract, sends it to Gloria or whoever the contractor is. And from there, you're good. As far as communicating with people, if you, let's say I want to talk to Edouard, you can message them, I believe. I'm not sure if that's going to be done in here. But there is a way to message and communicate back and forth with each freelancer. So you can even set up calls. You can set up, oh, there you go, message. Yeah, I think it probably said message anyways. So you can send them a message here, invite them to this one if you want. And then you can even set up a call through Upwork. So you don't have to do a Zoom. You'll find that if you try to put in a link to your email or you try to put in a phone number or a Zoom link, it will give you like a little, you sure you want to do that? Don't go around our terms and conditions. So they don't want you to hire somebody outside of their platform that you found on their platform. Makes sense, right? So use Upwork. I think I'll do some more videos on how to utilize freelancers, but create that very specific job description that you need done for your business or for even your personal life. You can find people on here that do all kinds of things. So I'm most familiar with Upwork. There's some other ones out there, but highly recommend for virtual assistants, for people that are experts at certain things like SEO or Google Console, Search Console, things along those lines that you just need project work done. But check it out and happy hunting.